Hello, everybody. Um, Here is gonna continue. Kind of like I'm gonna make six videos for this specific series about understanding and relationships and why. Why do they fail? The thing is, it's gonna go through the dimensions, and first of all, on a personal level, until you reach the union into the 5D. Right after that, though, you and your partner, once you understand everything within the 5D, you have to bring that energy down into the 3D. And a lot of the people can probably fail if they don't bring this energy down into the 3D. You will understand everything. I'll kind of like gonna put some more similar into it. If you have not watched the video that I did the introduction video is this right here. Twin flames, soulmates, and relationships and why they failed. Introduction. Here I explained one diagram, which is I'm gonna go through this diagram in the next 6 videos. So get familiar with this diagram. Go and understand this because it's related to a lot of things. It's not related only to the dimensions. It's not only related to the real life. It's just the way the things they are, the way I go through it. The first of all, we on this very first one, we'll be telling you when you come down as a soul, when you get born, you learn the things, you learn the relationships, then you find the person, you trying with that person to cross over the stages because your soul knows where it needs to go. The only thing it is when you meet the one person in one dimension, that will require different things. That's why we're going to be looking at most of it today into the 3D relationship. What's going on? I'm going to give you the introductions, why you need to listen in this so you can understand. Because when you understand this 3D relationship, it doesn't have nothing to do with soulmates, it doesn't have nothing to do with a twin flame, divine partners, and so on. Because into the 3D, the soul connection, the soul vibes, they're very, very minimal. They're very, very low. Simply because into the 3D, you're more focused into the materials. Don't forget the dimensions, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. They are basically the 3 M's. The one it's material, the 4D it's the magical, and the 5D it's the miracle. So I will begin by drawing you the diagram. I will talking to you, and the diagram, if y'all can find my marker right now, which is I had a minute ago. There it is. So the diagram begins with one line. This is the line, which is your soul coming down. When your soul is coming down, you get born right in here into the physical realm. Once you get born into the physical realm, since you come here, once you get born, you lose kind of like the information, which is we called the veil of the forgottenness, however it's pronounced, and you kind of like forget everything that you know, ever since you were right here, because this is your road. Now, throughout the years, once you're born, till the time you get married, this is a marriage point. You learn from someone the relationships. Once you're learning into the relationships, you begin to build something so you can reach this point. So with your partner, over the time, you want it to reach out high of love, to go back to the point of origin, as you can reach this. What happening in this case is you're living into .3D. You go back and you created everything. You're moving through life and you compare yourself of what's going on in life. How you comparing yourself into it? You're comparing yourself by this line up here. This line up here is known as the mirror line. What is that mirror line though? The mirror line is the time when you sit down within yourself and you do an evaluation of your life. You basically come here, you see where you're at, and it's like, evaluate yourself where you are in the reality. Those are the inner processes of thinking inside of you, of how is your relationship goes. You do the right thing, you do the proper thing, or you didn't do nothing in it at all. Did you sacrifice yourself in a base of someone to be happy and you're not happy in the relationship? Did you go ahead and screw up yourself in order just someone else to happy and you paid a price? Did you go ahead and live your life unhappy, and why? Those are the positions of revaluations into it. If you are focused so much into the 3D, depends on this programming here that happens in the beginning, you could stay definitely here at this point and not worry about whatsoever. This is where the most of the people are. They staying in this 3D. Why? Because here in the 3D, we're talking about the material. In other words, what are you possessing as far as this house, job, how much money you make, what kind of cars you want, how is your social status on the top of everyone? The success in life right here, it's based out of strictly of how much material possessions you have. You compete with everybody and you compare with everybody. You are looking at all the time who has more. You compare yourself to the Johnsons, and whatever if the Johnsons they have the BMW, guess what? You gotta go ahead and have a BMW. If the Johnsons go ahead and have a new house, you go ahead and buy a new house. If you, the Johnsons, had a new flat TV, you go ahead and get a new flat TV. If some of Johnsons went out and got a new job, you are doing everything even if he have to put something or he have to lie in front of people just so he can get a job where he can make more money, because making more money, you can go ahead and keep up with the Joneses. Here at the 3D, on that relationship though, I was talking about now, since you're in the marriage, the woman has to do this, the man has to do that. They don't have the things together. The only thing they have together is probably a house and a kids. But over the time, this relationship fails. Why? Over the time, this relationship kind of like a die. It doesn't have this fire of love at the beginning of that ignition point. And when it doesn't have the fire anymore, it's breaking a one important thing. It breaks the communications. Since the communications are not there, since like you're kind of like suppressing yourself just so the relationship can go. It's like the one holds the other, or the one has to serve to the other. The one has to have the control over the other. There is no really coexistence. We're not just talking about coexistence within soul, energies, vibrations. You're just talking about coexistence of the basic material needs, which is like once you get married, you kind of like create a little program. We're going to buy a house, we're going to buy a little villa, or we are going to do this, this, and that. But over the time, when you move up here and you look at this program and you look at yourself into the mirror of what it needs to be, most of the stuff doesn't happen of the way you kind of like picturing yourself that they would. Why? The part of the partnership. There is no partnership. The partnership dies when one or the other takes over the control of the actions of the other. And this is the main reason why this relationship, most of it, fails. It fails because of that. You fail for another reason. Either you or your partner doesn't live in the truth. If you go to the partner and you tell them, hey, do you love me? And they just kind of like a quiet, they don't understand what to say. Or they just like, yeah, I love you. Yeah, I love you. But guess what? Inside of them, the love died a long time ago. Or they're just gonna put a face mask and they're gonna keep on going in life, pretending they love you, and inside they will suffer. We're not talking about the situations going on in bed. Some of them will be like, okay, we'll do it, and just to be okay, just to get off the physical part, and that's it. But over the time, you are not happy. The face mask you put it on, the truth is hasn't been told. It affects the relationship, and that relationship fails. Another thing about the relationship is because this is a 3D. What is the most important part of the 3D? Material stuff. The inner fight for the material stuff. For example, you and your partner in the relationship want to buy a house. The one says, well, we can afford a house in this little town, just a little 3-bedroom house. It's not going to be that much expensive. And the other says, no, we are going to go to this expensive suburb. We are going to buy a huge 7-bedroom house because we have to show who we are. So now you go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And guess what? In either case, none of the partners is happy because there is no medium point. The medium point would have been if they both talked together and they decided to pick it up in Middletown with a middle-sized house where they're both living happy. And that's why this understanding and the will of I'm right or I am right doesn't come up into because of the material stuff. The material stuff, as far as the house goes, pretty much that way. The material stuff about a job. The one person says like, well, look at this, you don't make that amount of money. You should go get another second job. We can't afford this, we can't afford that. While the other person stays home, maybe. That is one of the cases. Another of the cases about a job that comes in is do whatever you got so we can make more and more money. Go out and make money. I don't care about anything else. I want you to care about the money. Well, the money doesn't buy happiness. A lot of the people, they're just going to work. They work 10 to 12 hours a day. And guess what? They just come home, they die. And what will be the good part about the money? None. The other thing that it comes in up here is fighting over the cars or fighting about the social status. The social status, it's a huge problem within the relationship because that social status, when it comes in, you are the one that comes from different castes. So when we go out, since I am from the highest caste, you're gonna keep quiet and you're gonna let me do the talk. Another thing about the social status is when you go to a family event or anything like this, the one always try to be the more talkative. And when they ask them, hey, how's it going with you and your partner? Oh, we are doing fine, we're just doing a great, man. We're just doing a fine. And, we are so happy and we are like this, which it has nothing to do with the reality. It's all about to put the face mask so you can fit on that social status into the society. Again, the lie of not be into the reality. The 3D is important to be learned at the beginning, to be understood, because the wrong stuff you do into the 3D is actually helping you to go up into the next stage. The next stage of the 4D. And the more mistakes you make into the 3D, the more evaluations you make yourself within the mirror, where you do a self-evaluations of how true you are into yourself. If you don't understand what the mirror is, I suggest you to go to my YouTube channel and search the mirror challenge. That kind of like is going to help you to understand what this mirror is, because through the mirror you know where you're at, where you're standing at, and where you are within the dimensions, but also where you are personally to your own self. By doing this mirroring effect inside of you, you look at your life of all the points, all the directions, because at this time when you look at the mirror, you look at yourself within your own soul. Something that's going on inside of you, it's an inner process, an inner work of realization. This is the time when you can even sit on a couch. By sitting in the couch, you're picturing yourself, well, this is what I wanted in life, but now that's not what I thought it was. I have something totally different. I always wanted to have such and such. I always wanted to have a relationship. I always wanted to get my kids, and so on and so on. Talking about kids here in the 3D, a lot of the partners, what they do is they have two different visions about the kids. What should they do? And either the one or the other, the one maybe give up, the other one more take over. And none of the partners considerates the one thing. That's all. Most of the parents, they consider what they think is right for their kids without even asking them. And that's why a lot of the relationships into the 3D, even the relationships within a partnership itself or the relationship with kids, it's broken. You need to understand one thing in those relationships in 3D. Your kids are not belong to you. They're not your property. They're not a personal property. They're not a personal slaves. Your kids are kids of the universe. What you gave it to them in the reality, okay, do yourself a reality check, is you give them a body where the soul lives. That was your job. And you to give them this first guidance about life. If you didn't spend time with them about teaching them about relationships, you didn't talk to them about the relationships, they didn't see a healthy relationships, they have no idea about the relationships, here's what's going to happen. They are going to fail simply because you did not learn the things about the relationships into the 3D you. So the soul is the one who brings you up on this position. And when it brings you up and up, you begin to evolve more and more and more. So by your understanding all this as in the 3D, I hope that this is going to help you in your life, that at some point you coming up right in here into the 4D. That is the time when you met the one person, and that person is your soulmate. Someone who tells you, listen, you got the wrong person. You have to see the reality. You have to do a reality check. You are not happy because of your relationship, because you focus on the material possessions. So you to understand this side right here, when you goes up. This side, this is gonna be a personal journey. That's gonna be a personal work. It's not gonna be someone's gonna hold your hands and pull you up. And that's why most of the people think that the partner has to bring them up. No. You will meet your partner right in here in the top of the 5D, where the universe, your partner, walking together. When you walking together, you see yourself as the equals through the mirror. You are mirroring each other. So when you're walking in this side, you will understand that down the road, you're learning everything in a personal level, you and your partner, that you have to learn how to get into the 5D, into the miracle world. In that 5D, we'll go ahead and kind of like helping you out, you to even grow, you to understand what real love is. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helps you out. and I will looking forward for your comments below. And I'm gonna be making the next video, so be loved, stay tuned.